What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. I hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. So yesterday I made a video discussing the heinous and vile actions of Raja Jackson, the son of MMA legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, right? I talked about Raja attacking, viciously assaulting pro wrestler Stuart Smith. And I spoke about the fact that Raja needs to be locked up. It was absolutely disgusting to see and disgusting to even occur. I spoke about the fact that Raja seems to be filled with anger and he has an aggressive nature and he needs some therapy and counseling, and I can see it from how he responded after everything took place, right? Because after he hit an unconscious man with a 22 punch combination, he's outside telling the world he ain't no B word. I ain't no B word. I ain't no BITCH. And I ain't no B word. And people gonna stop playing with me. They gonna stop playing with me. They gonna stop playing with me. So on and so forth, right? And a lot of people told me he was responding to people on his stream, calling him a punk, etc. and all of that. And, calling him out of his name and basically making it seem like he a punk or a wuss or whatever you want to call it, right? But I sat and thought about it because I had saw interactions between Raja Jackson and Quentin Rampage Jackson not too long ago, right? And every interaction I saw with Quentin Rampage Jackson and his son Raja Jackson was Quentin or Rampage trying to humiliate his son and embarrass him in public, like on a public display, consistently, right? And I said, and I thought to myself, I say, man, Quentin Rampage Jackson is not to blame for Raja Jackson's actions the other day against Stuart Smith, but I believe Raja's temperament and the fact that he needs counseling is due to the parenting style of Quentin Rampage Jackson. I really believe that, right? Now, let me be very clear, I'm not blaming Rampage for what Raja did the other day to Stuart Smith, but I'm blaming the temperament that Raja has and the fact that he needs counseling. I do believe that is due to the parenting style of Quentin Rampage Jackson. What do I mean by that? When I see Rampage Jackson interact with his son, it seems as if, like, Quentin Rampage isn't treating him like a son almost. It's really like he's treating him like someone he's treating him like someone he's trying to be an alpha over, not someone he was parenting. If that makes sense. I may have worded that wrong, but let me try to fix it up. In the parenting dynamic, Rampage seemed to be looking at his son as someone to be an alpha over. And that's what you do to an opponent when you're in physical combat with somebody. That's what you do when you're trying to conquer someone, like in battle or something like that, right? To be an alpha over them. That's not what you do with your children. You lead your children. You be stern with your children, but you also be loving and nurturing to your children, right? You stand behind them, you embrace them, you show love to them, you pour into them, you water them appropriately. And I don't think Rampage was doing that with his son at all, right? Now again, I don't know Rampage Jackson, I don't know Raja Jackson. But from what I've seen with clips of them, I can see where Rampage went wrong 100% in parenting Raja. I've seen clips of Rampage telling his son, I ain't never seen you with no girl. You ain't never bring no girls over here. You ain't never bring no girls over here. I thought you was gay at first. I thought you might be gay. I ain't never seen you with no girls. You ain't never had no girls over here like me. You ain't never, like, trying to embarrass his son. And this is on public display, right? Like he's trying to hoe his son. He's trying to punk his son. Like, and it's not something that you do to your child. Some of y'all might say, what the hell do you know about parenting? Now, I know I might not look like it, but I'm the father of a 14-year-old daughter and a 4-year-old son. Excuse me, stammering right there. But yeah, I'm the father of 2 children, a 14-year-old girl and a 4-year-old boy, right? So I've been at this parenting thing for a while, and I'm not saying I'm the best parent in the world, but I came from 2 loving parents, right? And I know my parents were not my bullies. And Rampage was acting like an extension of a bully to his son at times, right? When your father, because I just saw a clip of Rampage Jackson right after this situation happened with Raja and Stuart Smith, the pro wrestler, right? I see a clip of Rampage discussing his children, and he talked about leaving money or setting aside money for his children, right? So I'm thinking, oh, this is about to be a wholesome conversation. He talking about what he gonna do and save up for his kids. He said, I saved up the college fund. I saved up money for a college fund for my half Asian children, right? Because Rampage was married to an Asian woman and had kids with her, right? And then he said, for my black kids, I set aside money for them. That's bail money. I set aside bail money for them because they probably gonna be in, like, basically saying they're gonna be in jail. Basically saying that black kids gonna be in jail. His half Asian kids are gonna be successful and going to college. So he set aside a college fund for them. But for the black children he know they probably gonna be in jail. What the hell? What type of Sambo shit is that to be saying about your kids? Really favoring and putting your half Asian children on a pedestal over your fully black children. What do you think that does to the psyche of your children when they know that? Because that ain't the first time Rampage Jackson has expressed that, I'm sure. The way he openly said it on camera and said it without, he's so ignorant, he didn't even think it was anything wrong with saying that. So that's how I know he said that on more than one occasion, and he said it in front of his own children. If he can say it to the world like that on camera. Raja Jackson knows his father favors his half Asian children over him and his other fully black siblings. He sees his father again humiliating him every chance he gets, right? And what do you think that does to that man's psyche, that young man's psyche? It damaged his psyche and probably made him super aggressive, have all type of things going on with him internally. And that is the example of toxic fathering, right? Some of y'all say toxic fathering. Yeah, listen, man. There are men in this world who think that the only way to rear a child is to be obnoxious to them, to be rude to them. Like, that's tough love. Being obnoxious to your children. Being, again, just very disrespectful. Being very rude and just coming off really like an asshole to your kids, and you think that's just tough love. No, that's not it. And this is coming from a man who was reared by man. My mother was no nonsense, and my father was no nonsense too. I came from a James Evans. If you ever seen the movie not the movie. If you ever seen the TV show Good Times, right? I came from a James Evans black man. My father, Chicago, Illinois. We in Chicago. I came from a old school Chicago black man, right? My father did not play. He was stern. He didn't take no mess, but he also showed us he loved us. He told us he loved us. He told us when he was proud of us. He showed up for us, not just to whoop ass and to be a disciplinarian, but showed up for us when it was time to support us at big events, graduations, award ceremonies, right? Performances at school. He apologized to us when he was wrong, when he did something wrong, right? Again, he told us he loved us. He hugged us. And I'm thankful that I had a father like that, because I'm not hardened. I'm not going out into the world, looking to be aggressive on any and everybody because my parent was a bully of mine. So now I'm looking to bully everybody else. No. Because I had a father, again, my father was stern. He didn't take no mess. I wasn't in the streets or wilding out, none of that, because I knew my father and my mother wasn't going to play with me. Like, they was not going to play them games. They was never going to let that be a thing at all. They was never gonna let me be a wild dude in the streets. I'm growing up on the south side of Chicago. It was never gonna be a thing. So my father was stern, but he was also loving. And you see, when I look at Rampage, when you humiliating your son all day long, and it seems like the only positive, probably the only time he probably was really really embracive of his son is in the realm of combat. Because Raja Jackson is an MMA fighter now. And you see, young men, we want to get the approval of our fathers. I'm just here to say that young men want the approval of our fathers. And when you know your father is humiliating you all the time, making fun of you, telling everybody he thought you was gay, you ain't get no girls, and you don't never bring no girls over here, I ain't never seen you with no girl and all of that, and you like, yo, my father keep embarrassing me. You know your father is good in physical combat. Yeah, you want to be physical to get your father's approval. That's probably why he got into MMA in the first place, right? But then, when you know your father still be humiliating you on camera and still favors his half Asian children above you and your other black siblings, it still warps your mind. So yes, I do believe when he was saying, I ain't no punk, I ain't no B-word, he was talking to people in his streams, but he was also talking to his father, Rampage Jackson. My father keep bullying me, trying to bully me and trying to assert himself over me and be an alpha over me. His father want to dominate him as if he's an opponent in the ring. Rampage want to dominate Raja. As a parent, you're not supposed to want to dominate your children. I don't mean that in a weird way either, like not anything weird. Some of y'all gonna take that and run with it. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to want to be an alpha over your children, right? You're supposed to want to, first of all, they know you the head of the household, whatever. They're supposed to respect you. They're supposed to listen to you and listen to your tutelage, but you're supposed to pour into them. You're supposed to love them. You're supposed to rear them the right way. You're supposed to stand with them. You're supposed to teach them direction, teach them how to be upright, right? You're supposed to provide discipline, but also provide love and nurturing. And that's the key thing. A lot of people, and fathers in particular, think that nurturing only comes from the woman. No. Yes, a lot of times women are more innately nurturing. It's in their nature a lot of times. I don't know. A lot of the women are more nurturing in certain aspects, the mothers and things like that. But a father is supposed to be nurturing too. He's not supposed to be a brute robot with no nurturing in him. And that's what Rampage Jackson is. A brute that don't got no nurturing bone in him. And just, he's a buck dancing Sambo. And then, because he got a lot of internalized self-hate within him. And you can see that when you say, your Asian kids, they gonna go to school. Your black kids, they gonna go to jail. Like what? I need bail money for my black kids, set aside money for my black kids. And then for my Asian kids, set aside money for a college fund for them to go to college. And like what? And then over the years, man, I've seen the actions of Rampage Jackson. I remember when I was a kid, right? And because I never really been into MMA like that for several reasons. And I told y'all, because the aura around them brothers in this sport is just, MAGA, buck dance like a mug. Most of the brothers in MMA, a lot of them got that aura around them. A lot of brothers in MMA got the aura where they would let white folks say the N-word. White folks and other non-black people, like they would just let them say the N-word and encourage it. A lot of them brothers got that energy about them in MMA. But anyway, when I was younger, I used to see Rampage Jackson because Rampage was the man when I was in like my early teenage years. And I would see him, how he would be when he was getting interviewed by female reporters. And it was his shtick to be like a person that you would call HR on if you worked in corporate America with him. He would be acting like he about to lick a female reporter's boob, or he about to bite her boob, and like he about to rub her head and her breasts and all of that. And he would make sexual comments to the female reporters and looking like, brother, you gonna get a sexual harassment case. And a lot of them brothers in that MMA world, it's just fun. It's just fun, man. Hey, we in this woke society, man, where you can't even tell a girl you want to motorboat her. You can't even say you can't even tell a girl you want to F her without her going to HR. You can't even tell a girl you want to motorboat her. I'm stuttering over there. We're stumbling over that word, but you know, you can't even tell a girl you want to grab her breasts without her going to HR. A lot of them brothers want to be in that type of realm and world, right? And I used to look at him when he used to be saying this type of stuff to the women reporters, and they look so uncomfortable when he used to do it. They look so uncomfortable when he would be making all of these sexual comments to them. I was a young teenage boy, like, what the fuck is wrong with him? What's wrong with dude? Like, he need help. Do he not see these women are uncomfortable with that? Clown. Like, I used to look at him like, why he being a goofy? And I know some of y'all gonna come in here, you would never say it to Rampage's face. You would never say it to Rampage's face. Get off his nuts. Get off his nuts. Now, back to my conversation that I was having. Yeah, I would look at him and be like, what's wrong with dude? Like, he do clown stuff. And I was a young teenager. Because it's something that my father would never do. And my father is a man's man in every sense of the word. He would never try to make a woman uncomfortable with and by being overly sexual in interviews and stuff like that. But that was Rampage's shtick. And I'm like, hey man, what? And then when you see how he has an he says anti-black things. He comes off, you know, as a buck dancer. You like, oh no. I look like damn. And then you see how he humiliates and bullies his son, Raja. I said, man, Raja really didn't have no chance for real. Being like for real, I mean, yeah, you got financial backing. Your father provided for you financially, but being a parent is about being more than just financially straight. Being a parent is more than just, I'm just providing for my child financially. No, you have to pour into your child and for their social, emotional development, right? You have to show love to your child. You got to embrace your child. You got to uplift your baby. You have to, you know, be confident in your child, and you have to instill confidence in your children. And when Rampage Jackson is on camera saying his Asian kids going to college and the black ones was going to go to jail, that's not instilling confidence in your children. When your babies feel like my dad thinks like that about me, they psyche going to be all messed up. So I think the anger, because when you see Raja Jackson punching on Stuart Smith like that, that's anger. That's something internal. He got some stuff in him he needs to go to counseling for. The way you saw him after it happened, after realizing he hit an unconscious man with 20-something punches and he was unconscious in the ring, and the first thing we see from Raja is, I ain't no punk. I ain't no B. I ain't no B word. Yeah, it's something in him that's going on that he need therapy for. And I believe it's due to the fact that he was being under a roof with Rampage Jackson. Because Rampage seemed like, again, he don't got a nurturing bone in his body. And when your father is trying to be assertive, not assertive, he's trying to assert himself, he's trying to be an alpha over you and trying to dominate you. And he's almost looking at you. He's treating you like he would treat his MMA opponents. I remember back in the day they had that Ultimate Fighter show. And I remember it was a dude that had some protruding like chest, right? Might have had some gynecomastia. And, you know, Rampage Jackson was humiliating him every time he saw him. Hey, titties, every time, trying to be extra aggressive. When the dude stood up for himself, Rampage tried to be an alpha over him and tried to hoe him. And when I see Rampage, he be trying to hoe his son, Raja, on camera. You don't try to hoe your son and try to punk your son out. Who does that? My father never did that to me. My grandfathers never did that to me. My uncles never did that to me. But that's what Rampage has been doing to Raja, it seemed like, for nearly his whole life. And so now you see a young man who has all type of issues with him internally, filled with anger and frustration, and you get what happened the other day. That type of young man Raja